We got homosexuals all over the place, coming out of the woodwork. No, gay people have been, it doesn't really. I don't think the vast majority of people are bothered by gays. I'm just talking about your standard issue gay, your olive drab standard issue A1 gay, not your drag queens, not your flamboyant fucking bullshit, shove it in your face, gays. Just, gay people. Who cares, right? It's true. Well, back in the 60s, it was a big deal. Any gay was a problem. And it's funny because occasionally I find videos from that era that really shows what the society's opinion of gays were. It wasn't very good. They were looked at as like this anomaly that was, you'd look at it like you'd study it. What? Is that a gay? And very strange. I could understand back then how gays would be afraid to, how they say, come out of the closet, fess up to being gay. There was a lot of ridicule, a lot of misconceptions, and some hate out there. So here's a 1961 educational video about the homosexual. Let's watch, shall we?
The program you're about to see deals with a subject which is controversial, delicate, and to some downright unpleasant. The problem of homosexuality is age-old. In ancient Greece and Rome, this condition was apparently accepted as a way of life.
Damn.
In this country, the opposite is true.
Approximately 15 million men in this country have or will have prolonged homosexual histories. When this fact about a person becomes known, he is in truth rejected.
The rejected.
Here, number 6, we have the complete homosexual.
He's full
Here,
of cum.
Number 3, we
Half
have the
a tank
individual
of
who is
cum.
50-50, half homosexual, half heterosexual. Here, at 0, we have the individual who
Fill
has
her up.
no interest in homosexuality and is completely heterosexual.
The sexually active homosexual,
That guy's gay.
in general, is probably more promiscuous than his heterosexual counterpart.
We think the swish, or the queen, represents actually a small minority within the whole homosexual grouping.
A swish.
But to the public, this is the stereotyped view or picture by which all homosexuals are judged, it seems. These people actually, in most cases, are not even liked by the rest of their homosexual brethren because they have perhaps rejected themselves and they feel that society has rejected them.
4% of all adult males are completely homosexual and have only homosexual activity.
Wow.
18% are more homosexual than heterosexual in their experiences after adolescence. And finally, 37% have had at least one homosexual experience leading to orgasm after adolescence. This gives us some idea of the magnitude of the problem if we realize that 1 man out of 6 is more homosexual than heterosexual.
1 out of 6.
In treatment, we would, of course, like to turn all homosexuals into complete heterosexuals.
Wouldn't we?
This is usually not possible. We may be able to help the individual control his behavior, even if we cannot alter his homosexual tendencies.
The program you're about.
Oh, that's amazing. See, even back then, they were saying that the flamboyant gay, the swish, as he called them. Look at this swish. How did that one like lose its like its place in the pyramid of gay slurs? Look at this swish. Hey, swish. I'm going to bring that back. I'm bringing back swish. But even back then, they said like the flamboyant gay, the rest of the gay community doesn't like that. And now we look at part of the what they LGBTQA plus. Like gays don't like any of the other ones. Any of the ones that are really swishy, they don't like that. It fucks with them. They're put in the same category as the drag queen and the transvestite and the swish. So, in that fact, it didn't change, except the swish got way more swish and fucked up. And they started putting it on the children, the trans kids transitioning at 7 years old. Them scientist guys, his glasses would have exploded if he had to talk about 7-year-old kids transitioning or teen girls cutting their tits off. Oof. I guess they weren't hard enough. Well, not in that case, they just weren't hard enough on the gays back then. But interesting take on the homosexual from 1961.